Okay.
Oh, do you have a start for this already?
No.
Because if you don't, I have an idea.
Okay, take it.
Okay, hold on. No, never mind. I was gonna use a prompt. Hey James, I got some fan mail today. A fan question rather.
Oh, okay.
It's from a fan. It's on a computer. I don't have a piece of paper, but it's
I'm looking over.
It's a new fan.
Carrie Fisher?
His name is Brendan, and he asked the question: what would happen if a Jedi fought Captain America? Could a lightsaber destroy Captain America's shield? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are 199%.
That it would happen?
Of course.
Do you think vibranium can't? Because the vibranium is supposed to not like the strongest metal in the Marvel universe.
In the Marvel universe, on Earth. Mm-hmm. So we take it to another galaxy.
Right.
The atmosphere in said galaxy.
Oh, interesting.
Would penetrate the vibranium.
But vibranium is an alien metal, so maybe it's from another galaxy through a wormhole that binds the Star Wars and Marvel universe together.
You just made some people's days.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Lightsabers.
Yeah.
Everything else.
My question though is the lightsaber destroying the shield, or is it the Force? Correct, right? Because like a lightsaber is just light, but it's with someone that can use the Force. It is a dangerous weapon.
But when Han Solo needs to cut open a tauntaun.
We're not talking about tauntaun flesh. We're talking about vibranium shields created by Howard Stark, I think. I can't remember how many times
it's an interesting question. What do you think?
Oh, lightsabers all the way. But that's because we're very biased.
What are you talking about?
Yes. Welcome to the Rebel Scum blah, blah, blah. Welcome to the Rebel Scum Podcast.
It's only been 100 times.
Where we talk about Star Wars for the last 100 weeks. This is episode 100. I'm Brock. This is
James.
And we bring you the news you need about Nerf herders.
Mostly we just like talking Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Can I say something quickly? Because there's a lot of like fan negativity out there. I've kind of not been on the internet for a little while. It is phenomenal because I just like Star Wars. And I don't care. I was looking through the Art of the Last Jedi book. And I went to the Praetorian Guards. And every time I open it, it's that page. I think that's the middle of the book.
Yeah, because you're on it and then the book just naturally opens up.
No, I think it's actually the middle of the book. But anyway.
That's it. Is there a lot of different concept art for that?
Yeah,
must be.
I'll bring it in. Well, I don't know. I just look at the one. I don't think so, actually. I think it's actually just like
they're like red pages. Was the go-to.
Yeah, they're like, this is it. And Rian Johnson's like, perfect. Unlike, have you seen the Jedi and the Director yet?
No.
It's so good because there's one part where they're trying to come up with the costumes for Canto Bight, and the costume designer's like, I was telling Ryan this isn't a good idea. And Rian Johnson's like, just make it Star Wars. Like, awesome. Other thing I got to say about Rian Johnson is Chris McQuarrie, the director of Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, and the new one. Yeah. And he wrote, I think, Jack Reacher. He writes every Tom Cruise movie. But Rian Johnson, I follow both him and Rian Johnson on Twitter. And at one point, Rian Johnson said, you need to follow Chris McQuarrie. But I saw the reply tweet to that from Chris McQuarrie, and he goes, thanks, Ryan. I've gained 3,000 subscribers or followers from this. And also 1 million tweets about how much they hate The Last Jedi. And it was... and they had a good banter back and forth.
I mean, Eva, he's commented on it before, but I think it was last week or early this week that Rian Johnson said, I'm still shocked by how many people don't like my Star Wars movie, but I do not regret this. I made that movie. That's how I would have made it, blah, 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 blah. I believe that was...
Yeah, and I think you would have made it differently, and I would have made it differently, and you would have made it differently, and everybody, like, we all would have made whatever we were going to make. But what is episode? We should tell everyone, because this is our 100th episode. We want to announce that we are going to start a GoFundMe page, and Brock and I are going to remake The Last Jedi.
What?
We have producers on board. I'm trying to get Rian Johnson to produce it. It will be an all... Have you seen that poster? I'll show you. You know what? I'll splice this in later. Because this poster, Brock...
Yeah.
is one of the best things. So this is the remake poster. I think it's 100% like a joke, but this is the remake poster of The Last Jedi. You guys can look up here. That's it right there. And the best is BB-8 has the Negan bat.
What is Rey doing?
She's cooking.
Cooking porgs?
I guess she's cooking a pork. Finn's got a fedora, which I kind of like.
There's a hologram coming out of his eye?
Hologram coming out of his eye. What's that? That's Yoda. And a droid? I don't know what that is. There's the Falcon and Boba Fett. It's like there's 3 Death Stars. Kylo Ren is Dolph Lundgren, apparently. And Snoke looks like he's DJing.
No,
he's got a projector.
What's it saying on the thing? My origins, my plans. That's like, we want Snoke to explain who he is.
So I have no idea who made this, but it is, this is genuinely what we all wanted.
This is what we should be talking about. Like, if you aren't happy about the movie, that's fine. But like, you don't have to be mean about it. Just let it go.
I like that. But go find me. We're trying to raise $3.5 million. Because I think we could do it on 3.5 mil.
Yeah, probably.
Easily. Because all it is that poster in action. And we're going to recast everyone as well.
Wow.
Andrew will be playing Luke Skywalker.
Oh my God.
He would actually love that. He would revel in that too. He'd be like, well, I won't ruin it. So we're going to do, so today's top 5 is top 5 Star Wars characters flat out. We're going to do top 10.
Yeah.
We're going to start pretty soon. We're going to give you the bottom feeders.
The bottom.
10 to 5, number 10 to 5. Andrew's going to join us later on. He is going to give us his top 5 Star Wars characters. I'm pretty sure none of it is accurate because he is not canon. Maybe today we'll make him canon.
No.
And we are going to call him through the Skype services.
The Skype box.
Or Google Hangouts or FaceTime or are there other options?
Periscope.
Or the one from Back to the Future where you fax people through it and McFly gets fired. Remember that one?
Good times.
They got that right. And they almost got the Cubs right as well. They were a year off?
Almost,
a year off? Two Cubs fans.
It's yesterday was like the 35th anniversary of it premiering, the first Back to the Future. Like, wow.
And they will all be at Fan Expo Canada.
Yes, they will.
All of them. Including Michael J. Fox.
Yay.
And Biff.
And Biff.
But we know I'm boycotting all things.
Boycotting Biff because he is Trump-esque.
Oh, but we are going to Skype or whatever Andrew Fantasia, and he is going to do what we did this at this episode 66, where he tried to name 66 planets and 60 or whatever it was, 60 planets.
Yeah.
We're going to do 100 characters in 100 seconds. I don't know if he knows we're doing this yet.
But he's ready for it.
Well, if you guys have seen...
What's 100 seconds? That's almost 2 minutes.
A minute, almost a...
It's 20 seconds short of
20 seconds short of... I was trying to do the math. But we know I can't do math.
Yeah, that's why we have a podcast.
Yay! So that's the big thing. Do you want to... Let's talk about this from Den Allen right away.
Den Allen.
Bam! This poster just popped up. Right? So stupid. In a good way. It's stupid in a good way. Here we go. Den Allen writes, Dear Brock.
Dear Santa.
What I would like for Christmas is for Kylo Ren to get a shirt.
Did I actually say Christmas?
No. All that was just me, guys. This is from Den Allen. Here we go. If Kylo is supreme leader of the new galactic empire, then he is not the true heir to the empire. And wouldn't that make a great title for the final film and take another novel title and incorporate it into canon like The Last Jedi? We could actually have Thrawn cameo despite the unlikeliness of this actually.
Yeah. So if Kylo becomes supreme leader, he doesn't fulfill what he's been trying to fulfill.
Yeah. Well,
because he outdoes Vader? Is that what he means?
Yeah, because he would actually be what Vader
couldn't do.
Yeah. I'm totally down for that. To be honest, for my opinion.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, Supreme Leader Ren, like, that'll be sweet. I'm very... and sometimes I wish there wouldn't be a time jump between 8 and 9, but I think it would be really cool to enter, and you're like, oh, yeah. We all know how to deal with, like, time jumps like that, so why not? Oh, man. That'd be so awesome. Like, and then he has his own little army of like Jedi, Sith, whatever they're Knights of Ren, whatever you want to call it. That'd be sweet. But what is the question? Just so we can fit in the book reference and possibly Thrawn. Yeah, I'd be down with that. Like, and like I think we said it before. You just make him walk through the back or like say something, but you don't have a reveal. Don't make it like an Effie's Nest reveal where you're like, whoosh, and you're like, who is that? Which it wouldn't be for us. We'd be like, but like everyone else would be like,
I love Solo, but yeah, I'm also thrown off by that weird reveal because because she's a kid, like very young.
Yeah, I guess.
You
know what it is. I mean, you've said it before. It's like if we didn't know it was a female character, then it'd probably be more surprising.
Which I think was which was a leak that shouldn't have been leaked, and they tried to course correct it because everything that came out after they said he.
Yeah.
But word was already out that it wasn't a he, so we're like, so it was exactly what I think we all kind of speculated based on that weird leak. So yeah, I guess. Thrawn in episode 9 I think is a really good idea, depending on what they're doing. But everything that we've seen leading up to it in all the expanded stuff kind of makes sense for Thrawn to be there. And now they're tying Thrawn in with Anakin and Vader. And it seems like, okay, well, what else ties into that? Kylo Ren ties into Anakin and Vader as well. So they would have not a relationship, but a familial history of sorts.
Yeah.
Where Thrawn would be like, I knew your grandfather. That's my Thrawn impression. Filoni, call me if you need me for the Resistance show to do Thrawn. I'm available weekends.
I'm available every second Friday.
Every second Friday between 10 and 1. After that, I'm swimming. Can't commit to it.
It's hot outside.
It's been nice. I've liked it.
Yeah.
This arm got burnt.
Did it?
You can't see it. It's under right here.
Oh, under there.
This side got fried. This side, white as can be. But this side is like, it's fried. I don't know. Watching a parade from a balcony. Happy America Day.
Are we dropping this today?
I don't know.
Happy July 4th.
We did I'm going to watch fireworks from my balcony tonight. I could see them in Buffalo like this. Or Niagara Falls, America.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm like, hopefully.
They're just
it should be a clear night tonight. Yeah,
they look like UFOs in the distance.
Boop, boop. But happy Independence Day to our American fans. Happy Canada Day to all our Canadian friends. What a time for it to be July. Yes.
It's weird how it works out this year. How Canada Day and Independence Day are 3 days apart.
They're always 3 days apart.
What? It's like Easter, though. It goes by the moon.
It's the first Saturday.
It's like... Anyway, I think Thrawn, though, coming into episode 9 would make a lot of sense, and I don't think you have to... I think no matter what, he needs to be explained in a lot of ways. But the one thing about this is I'm really on board with Kylo Ren being an amazing leader. Like, he is the leader of the galaxy.
Yeah. Like, that's... You know, it would work really well because that is his whole modus operandi in the first, like, Force Awakens. He's like, I'm going to do what you... So it's nice to have something wrap up after... You know, Last Jedi I like Last Jedi, but there are points where, like, where are we going? Like, I feel like we've gone in one different direction when we were going this way. Like, you know, I've commented on, like, Rey is like, I want to get back to Jakku. And now, like, that kind of goes away. But maybe because she has more of... It's a minor detail, but...
Well, also because the next one takes place 35 seconds after the
exactly
first one, where she doesn't have time to say...
But even more so, it's like, well, what does she... Well, she mentions... You know, it's a minor detail.
The problem with her is they've switched her narrative in a way, where I'm going back to Jakku to who is my family.
Yeah.
That's why. Because it's
like
still... I think it's supposed to be the same thing, it's just they weren't talking about what it actually was. So one is like going back home, and the other one is who are my parents.
And while finding out what the Force is, and that she can
lifting
actually
rocks.
wield it, and like that there's a person that can show her something. I think she's just looking for somewhere to belong. So like that is her storyline. So Jakku used to be that, and then some stuff happened to her. She blew up a murder planet. Well, she didn't burn up, but she was on a planet that blew up. So, like, things change, even though it's, like, in the narrative of like what 3 or 4 days or whatever.
Well, we don't know how long she was on Qatar for. Qatar? Kira. Dakar. Qatar is where the World Cup's gonna be. You moved your Thundercat off. They're throwing me off.
Yeah, I'm filling in my things.
Throwing me off.
I got new shelves upstairs.
I wish I could turn this so you guys could all see what I look at every week. It's just like, and it grows.
Yeah, I like pops.
No, you don't. This is not like.
They're organized. The bottom is X-Men.
Oh yeah, you moved your Deadpool as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of X-Men.
Yeah, I like X-Men. Check out my new podcast, Rebel Scum
I like
X-Men.
your Jim Carrey Sonic the Hedgehog one though.
Oh yeah, because he's gonna be Dr. Robotnik. Yay!
Yep. He's gonna be right up there with Dennis Hopper as Bowser Koopa. Things you can't beat. But what do you think the title for episode 9? By the way, episode 9, the logo is blue.
Why is it blue?
I think it's blue. Now I can't remember. Well, we don't know.
Do they announce it?
Maybe because of Thrawn.
Ooh. Well, here's the problem though with Thrawn is like in the movies, the Empire typically is an alien. Though I guess you could say that Snoke is something. I know Empire and First Order are different things. But you know what I mean? Like that's something that came up in the like expanded universe. Was like, well, why can't they be
Pops
aliens?
is racist.
Yeah, but oh, totally. He is a racist. But like, so like that's my problem with Thrawn. Like maybe it doesn't work. Like, would it be confusing to the regular audience to be like, why is there a blue guy all of a sudden? But I guess Snoke kind of makes that all go away.
I think I think either way with Thrawn is you have to introduce him into the movie universe. Yeah. So you would still introduce him to it. Yeah. And you would still be like, hey, this is Thrawn. He's like, I'm Thrawn. I got banished. I used to work for your empire. That's my other Thrawn. I have 2 different Thrawn voices. Both of them are very similar.
But yeah, like, I think the important point is, like, if you put Thrawn in a movie or not, we want to know more about him. Like, because as much as the end of Rebels is like, oh, you can't come back from that. It's like, can't you? No. But, like, Thrawn is a character that, like, if you're going to come back from, like, you know, what are those things called again? The squid things that can do...
Space whales?
Space whales.
Spales. Somebody
will comment on it, but like to be able to do the hyperspace leaps like that, like if someone's gonna survive, that'd be. You know what it reminds me of, and this is a deep cut. Maybe most people won't remember, but if you remember Reboot, they did a jump ahead where like the characters all aged because they went to a different server. I'm like, that's what it feels like.
That was the reboot of Reboot.
Reboot of Reboot. Like if they were to like bring back. Any of the characters from Rebels, and then they somehow meet up with Ezra, but he's aged like 30 years faster than all of them. That would be sweet. But do you visualize Thrawn as he's blue in the new movies? He's blue because that's his skin color, but like his hair is like bright white now because he's aged or something.
That would be cool.
Maybe he has a beard of some sort.
Side Akbar, somebody took a picture of Jim Carrey in the mask, and they made the mask flesh color. It was freaky. It was freaky. That would be cool. I would be on Thrawn with white hair, and that would add, I think, to his like elegance, because he'd be like, "I'm the Silver Fox now."
I feel like there's a character like that. Maybe it's in Star Trek. They have like a blue alien with like straight white hair, like from the original like William Shatner. Shatner.
Do they really?
I think so. I don't know. I've seen a toy of it. I don't know. But yeah, like, we need more things in the things that we like.
Well, my biggest question about episode 9 is who is the villain? How do they handle the villain? And what is the villain? And what is the plot? And am I going to get to see it early? And I think it started shooting now, or it starts shooting in a couple of weeks, but they're getting ready to start shooting it. I've seen people, I think, in England where they have signs up, but I don't understand why they do this, because it would be the fake name for that. I don't know. Episode 9's coming. Oh man, we'll be at episode 200 and something by the time we watch it.
Really?
Yeah. No, I don't know. We'll be at
close.
150, 60. We won't be at 200. We'll be at... Wait.
This is why we don't
Maybe.
do math.
Think about it.
Well, it's
a year and a half.
It comes out in
away.
December.
Year and a half.
There's how many weeks in a year? 52?
So 52 plus half of that.
And then there's...
All right, we'll be at like 170-ish. 160 something.
Yeah, we'll be close. We won't be over 200.
We'll be at 3 years.
Wow. 3 years of us just doing math in our heads. Carry the 2.
All right, let's do our top 5.
Top 5.
The bottom 5.
The bottom 5. 10 through 6.
Do you have an honorable mention that didn't make the list?
I didn't go that elaborate. Admiral Akbar. Because, like, who doesn't like him?
I have a few.
And if you're reading Star Wars comics, you get a lot of Akbar right now.
Your roommates are having like a wrestling match upstairs. I think someone just got body slammed.
Maybe.
I'm going to go Qui-Gon. Honorable mention for me.
Yeah.
Watto.
Interesting.
I'm serious. I love Watto.
I'm going to throw Porgs in there, too.
Porgs didn't make my list either, but... Andrew's waiting to Skype in. I'm like, are you ready to name... We should lie to him. Like, I told him it was 100 characters in 100 seconds.
Yeah.
But we should tell him, like, when we do it with him, we should be like, actually, we're going to do 100 vehicles in 100 seconds.
That's the worst.
Just, like, throw him right off. So Qui-Gon and Watto are mine. So let's go number 10. Who's your number 10?
My number 10 will be...
Is your list
Bosk. I didn't just think it. I'm not just thinking it up as I go. I was just like, yeah, I like that. But like, we got to see a lot of Trandoshans in like the Clone Wars. So
and the rule for this is it's movies, TV shows, comics,
everything.
novels. I'm punching the table. What else? Anything, and it could be
Anything.
Legends as well.
Yeah,
but Legends didn't make my number 10 is Leia.
Ooh.
Don't at me, bro.
Come at me, bro.
I like Leia. She kills Jabba, who didn't make my list. Jabba's also an honorable mention. My number 9 should be number 1. Wicket.
Yeah, he had 2 movies. Why not?
And I saw Ice Capades, Ewoks on Ice. I watched the cartoon. I have the Ewok Village. I still have a Wicket action figure from 1980, whatever. Like 83. Was that 83?
Wow.
I still have it.
Still have it. It's
in
going to be buried with it.
Hopefully. Your number 9.
My number 9 will be C-3PO because he's funny. He possibly might be a gay character. Well, can droids be gay? Why can't droids be gay?
Ask L3 that one.
None of that, but anyways. No, he's a fun character. You know, I mean, Anthony Daniels. Anthony Daniels? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I watched a Q&A with him, and it was really excellent. So if you ever have a chance, go, because he really makes it work. He entertains people. But he's a fun character that we kind of like see throughout pretty much all the movies now. And he's also really interesting in some of the comics where he has his own like droid spy network. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
And you know, the first time I saw The Force Awakens, I didn't even know he was in it because I didn't recognize him with that red arm.
Jeez.
Who's your number 7? 8.
My number 8 is Lando Calrissian. It might have not made the list, but I love Donald Glover, so I enjoyed that character. Even though I feel like there could have been more on Lando in the movie, but I think he did a good job. I'm reading the comic, not as great as I expected it, the Lando, like young Lando comic. But I will soldier through because I think there's a lot to be said in the Han Solo universe that couldn't be shown in the movie. So yeah, hooray!
My number 7 or 8?
8.
8. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he's high on my list.
Hi, man.
Hi.
Hi. It's legalized here.
I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. Do not fight me on my list. Oh my god, my next 2 we might lose subscribers. I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is like when I'm ranking the movies, I'm just, someone's got to go there. and he went there. But I really like Obi-Wan. But he, for most of my life, he was just an old guy.
Yeah.
And then he became a cool Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, like that's the interesting part. Like it's like he's fleshed out even more, like through the cartoon and the prequels. You're like, oh yeah.
And when I was doing this, I'm like, how many prequel, sequel, and original trilogy characters do I have on it? And I looked and I was like, wow, does that count as this or that or that? My number, I'll just go my number 6. Luke Skywalker.
I didn't do 7.
Who's your number 7?
My number 7.
Forget what I just said.
Is Rey Kenobi.
Oh, wow.
No, Rey, I like her. She's a good character, even though a lot of people don't like her on the internet. But she's our main character fairly well in those movies, so I would like to know more about her. I think she's interesting. So
Rey didn't make my list.
Ooh.
My number, 6 is Luke Skywalker.
Surprise, surprise. So was mine.
Whoa, really?
Just couldn't make... I like Luke, but I think there's a lot more interesting characters. Even though he's the main character, but that's like I wanted to put Rey and him together because they're kind of the same character.
See, Rey I don't find interesting. Luke, he's been around forever.
He's our main character, so of course your first go-to is to put him at the top of the list. But like I would argue that his story's been told. I think I'm gauging my favorite characters on like I want to know more about those characters, or like just not even know more, just like let's just see more things.
Who's your number 5 or 6?
That was number 6. I had because number 6 was your Luke.
10,
Luke.
9, 8. That was 7. We can't count, guys. That was 7.
Who did I have again? Bosk,
Lando, Rey,
Luke,
and now
Kylo, because I don't. There's certain. No, I'll switch it up and be even more crazy. Darth Vader is my number 5. Because just I mean, Darth Vader is good. Like Darth Vader comic right now is like awesome, but Kylo's the character that's around, so I'd rather put him higher up. Spoilers for number 5. It's Kylo.
And my number 6, Mr. Jar Jar Binks. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, I know you're not
joking. Jar Jar Binks.
This is 100 episodes. Of course I know you're not
joking. It says Jar Jar Binks right on my list.
Yep.
Argue me on it. Because you're not going to win.
Come at me, bro.
Because I'm stubborn as F. I love Jar Jar, but some sad news came out in Jar Jar land.
Yeah. Ahmed Best revealed that after the backlash of Jar Jar Binks the internet was around at that point, but it wasn't as big as it is now. He considered taking his life because of all the backlash people gave him out. Like he ruined their childhood. Isn't that funny how like even back then they're like ruined my childhood now, ruined my childhood then. It's like come on. So I get it. I get when Star Wars is like sacred, but like he wasn't that bad of a character. Like
Star Wars has the best fans and the absolute worst fans. Well, I wouldn't even call them fans. The worst people who think that they like something, but really they don't like something. They like a moment in time that they're never going to get out of.
Bullying is not cool. I mean, it's you know what? It's twofold of a story where it's like he's started taking the opportunity to relate his experience and then also talk about mental health. Like he almost did something. I think he's going to drown himself. But he got through it. And because of that, like there's a picture he posted it was a post, right? Of him and his son. And if he had done what he had done, he wouldn't have been able to have the son he has. So he's sort of, it's sad. And he's bringing it to like bullying, mental health, but also like it's sad, but it's also a happy story. Cause it's like, I pushed through and you can too.
Jake Lloyd, Daisy Ridley, Kelly Marie Tran. All these people get pooped on for being in a movie that really they were all excited to be a part of.
Exactly.
And instead, dickheads have to show up and
like knock it off.
Like it's a movie.
Yeah.
Chill.
Not cool.
Where's Hawkeye?
Where is Hawkeye? Where is Ronan? Oh.
What? Like the De Niro movie?
No, like the character he's supposed to be.
He'll show up.
I hope not.
He's showing up in 4.
In Thor?
In Thor.
Thor.
Side Akbar, I'd rather have a new Thor movie than any other Marvel movie right now. As long as it's Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
And yeah, I'm totally down for that. So
that's our lower 5.
That's our lower 5. Do you want to hear Andrew's top 5?
Do we want to do it right now?
Do you want to do it right now?
Sure.
I don't think his list is going to be very good.
No, because he's the worst. We've gone over this. 100 episodes. He is the worst.
He doesn't know what's left and what's right.
Episode 3, he has besmirched this podcast.
That was his first one, was episode 3?
Yeah, because I think Rob was episode 2.
Oh, it was a prequel of. Rob came during the Michael Phelps swim when they aired the Rogue One trailer for the first time with all that new footage.
Yeah.
All that never before seen, never will be seen again footage that they had in it.
Yeah.
And that shot of Vader looking at the Death Star plans.
Yeah.
That
never got... I don't think is ever actually in it.
I wonder even... I want to... Like, I'm not into like, oh, I want to see this cut, I want to see that cut, because I don't believe in that. But I want to know, like, what the hell was so different where Vader would look at Death Star plans? Like, that's not like Jin and company running on the beach. That is looking at Death Star plans.
Yeah. I don't know. They made a whole set where it's all red.
Yeah. Like, did they replace that with Krennic choking on his aspirations?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know either. We will never know. And you know what? So I'm okay with that.
What are you doing?
Well, because he chokes him like this.
Oh, I see.
But he's
I thought you were turning a knob.
He's like this. He's like...
Turn the volume down, because we're going to get offensive. No.
Lord Vader.
Good movie. Let's watch it right now. Yeah, so anyways, you want to watch Andrew's
Let's just go to Andrew Fantasia being an idiot.
Go, dummy.
Wagwan, scumbags. Did you miss me? You missed me. You missed me a little bit. It's okay. I missed you too. I'm here to help celebrate the 100th episode of Rebel Scum Podcast. First of all, congratulations, Mr. Brock and Mr. James, on reaching episode 100. Here's to another 100, and then maybe even another 100 after that, but that'll be it. So what are my top 5 favorite Star Wars characters? Okay, this is tough. This is always changing too, but I think I got it nailed down. Here we go. Number 5, Poe Dameron. I mean, there's something about this guy. And when he's on screen, I am just smiling from ear to ear ever since we first meet him. And he's introducing himself to Finn, and they have that little exchange in their TIE fighter, and he's like, I'm Poe Dameron. Good to meet you, Poe. Good to meet you, Finn. I was like, I want to be friends with Poe, too. The guy is just a classic old-school hero. I've said before on the show, Poe Dameron is the kind of person where I would not be surprised if he said, ah, shucks. I wouldn't, because he's that kind of guy, and I like that. It's very hard for a cocky flyboy who's also really handsome and also really good at what he does to be a likable character. It's very hard, because normally if you were to explain that to me and be like, okay, there's going to be a Star Wars character who's this really handsome, chiseled hero who's just a cocky guy and he's really, really good at flying, and he's arguably even better at flying than Han Solo, and he's really cool and he's a charmer with the ladies, I'd be like, this guy sounds like a giant douchebag. I don't want anything to do with him. But that's a testament to how Oscar Isaac plays the part so well, because Poe's not a giant douchebag. We love him. I'm not saying I have a man crush on Oscar Isaac, but I'm also not saying that I have a man crush on Oscar Isaac, so do with that what you will. Number 4. This is cheating, but I don't care. The droids. Mainly C-3PO and R2-D2. Together as a bundle. A bundle pack. We buy them as a combo. It's a burger and fries. You get what I mean? These two together are Star Wars, as far as I'm concerned. They were initially the guides who introduced us to this universe 41 years ago. They're the ones who took us by the hand and said, I know this is scary and weird and kind of hot, but let's go see what this galaxy is all about. Come on, we're with you every step of the way. Let's go. And we followed them, and here we are. 41 years later, we got 3 trilogies, 2 spin-offs, God knows what else coming out, and this podcast. So I think we're doing pretty well. And it's all thanks to those two plucky droids. I hope we get more C-3PO and R2-D2 together in episode 9. Because there's something about that duo that just makes my day. Number 3, Luke! Luke! I'm not saying it's Aunt Beru, I'm saying that it's Luke. Luke Skywalker is my hero. He really is. I mean, there's no other way to say it. He is my hero. I know a lot of kids grew up watching that trilogy and they said, my hero is Han and my hero is Leia. And I get it. Han and Leia are great characters, but for me, it was all about my boy Luke. I related to him. I liked him. Again, going back to the Poe thing. You have a movie where you have characters like Han and Leia and Obi-Wan and Vader and the droids. Luke as the main hero who's just like, I'm the good guy. It'd be so easy for that guy to be bland and forgettable. Luke was neither of those things, baby. Luke was neither of those things. And he only got cooler as far as I'm concerned as the movies progressed. And by the time we got to The Last Jedi and I saw what my childhood hero had turned into and how he had to become a hero again. Yes. All kinds of yes. I don't even need to say more. It's Luke. Try to top that, guys. You can't. It's not going to happen. Number 2. Hello there. Guys, come on. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi. It has to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. He is the greatest Jedi of all time, as far as I'm concerned. More than Yoda. Yoda's up there, obviously. So is Luke. Luke did some pretty cool Jedi shit back in Episode 8. But no, my boy Obi-Wan Kenobi is, in my opinion, the most exemplary Jedi Knight who ever lived. And the adventures we got to see him go on in the prequels, I'm so glad we got those. I am so glad we got those because Obi-Wan, as it stood in the original trilogy, I'm going to go right ahead and say it, was kind of a weak character. That's the way I felt. He was the typical mentor, and he was good in 4, but he was just the mentor. Like, there's nothing super special about him. And then he died. Spoilers. And then they're just like, well, Alec Guinness is a pretty big actor, so let's just have ghosts be in the picture. And then he would just keep showing up and being like, I'm dead, so I can't help you, Luke, but I can kind of help you, and here's what you should do, but you didn't hear it from me because I'm a dead man. Was I any different when you taught me? And that was not the most ideal use of that character. But once we got to prequel territory and Clone Wars territory, and we saw what they could do with that man, then yes, absolutely, that is a Jedi Knight. So Obi-Wan Kenobi is my second hero of the Star Wars movies, and he shall remain so. I love that dude with all my heart and soul. But not as much as I love number 1, the only, Jack Porkins. No, it's Palpatine. Darth Sidious, a.k.a. Sheev Palpatine, a.k.a. the Emperor of the Galaxy, a.k.a. Roy, is just the greatest villain I have ever seen for so many reasons. He is just so much fun to watch. That's what it boils down to. He is a delight, an absolute delight to watch. It goes without saying, and people have said this millions of times, that yeah, villains don't think they're villains, they think they're heroes. And I agree with that, and I sort of disagree with that at the same time. I think it depends entirely on the villain we're talking about. For example, I don't think the Joker thinks he's doing anything good. I don't. I really don't. And I don't think that Voldemort, Sauron, or Palpatine think they're doing anything good either. Because if you dress in scary robes and cloaks, and you have assistants helping you out who are monsters in scary robes and cloaks, and you call yourself the Dark Lord of blank, you don't think you're a good person. I'm sorry, you don't. And that's what I love about Palpatine, is he revels in the fact that he is an evil SOB. He takes absolute glee in it. And you can see it in those yellow eyes when he turns to the camera and he says, "We shall have peace." That's not a guy who wants peace. That's a guy who knows what he really wants, but he's just saying peace because it gets him off. And that is just the beauty of Sheev Palpatine. Also the fact that he gave us a wonderful character in the form of his granddaughter Rey. That's a microphone I just dropped. Prove me wrong. But those are my top 5 Star Wars characters. You know, honorable mentions, man. Rey, Biggs, Ahsoka Tano, Leia. I mean, I could go on for hours. But those are the 5 who really stand out to me the most. Thanks so much, scumbags. May the force of others always be with you. The dark side of the Force.
You know what I really like about that clip?
Nothing.
Was his backdrop.
Clean up your... Like, can you just clean your kitchen table or dining room table? Like, come on, man.
We're going to Skype with him in a couple minutes.
And it'll probably be worse.
But my question is... Well, it might be different because that might be a different day. But my biggest...
Oh, yeah. No, but, like, it's going to have more stuff.
All right. I'm just...
It's going to have his half-eaten lunch.
We got to ask him about that. It's like, Andrew, the table behind you.
Clean it up. Look at this. Do you think I want this in my house? No. But I do it. Because I'm a professional.
And also, you really, really want this in your house.
That's true.
Your roommates love this stuff.
Who cares?
All right. I want to throw something to you on the spot right now.
Okay.
Give me your... I'm going to name a bunch of Star Wars movies.
Yep.
And you're going to put them in order that
shoot.
you want to watch them.
Okay.
New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, Force Awakens, Rogue One.
Did you say Return of the Jedi?
I did not.
Do I go up to the most I want to watch?
So,
Or my first movie I want to watch, then this?
yeah,
then this?
do it that way. Let's not confuse it.
Okay. Empire, Rogue One, New Hope, Force Awakens, Revenge of the Sith,
That wasn't on there. Yes, it was.
Attack of the Clones. Was it 7 movies?
6. I picked 2 from each era. So it was 6 movies.
6?
You got them all.
Yeah.
New Hope. It was 7.
Yeah. New Hope and Force Awakens have to be like sandwiched together. There's no real desire. It's just out of respect do New Hope first. But like they have, I think they need to be a combination constantly because it's like, you know, they're nice little, not bookends, but like, I guess the opening chapters.
I think that's what I'm really hoping for in episode 9 more than anything is that it is the nice bookend. Like when you watch it, like this felt like a good ending.
Yeah.
The problem is Return of the Jedi feels like a good ending.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that I think this new trilogy has really faced. Is I almost have to look at it like, no, I shouldn't say that. You almost have to kind of just get beyond the ending of Return of the Jedi and be like, okay, it's not final. This Truce of Backer is real. And you move on to that. So it's kind of in that way.
Like, I want to say it's like, oh, they spent too much time trying to explain what happened to our main characters from the original trilogies. Or, like, they should have just been like, oh, this happened, and this happened, and this happened, done. And then we move on. But they kind of do that. It's just not in the way people wanted it. You know, people want Han and Leia to be together forever. And everyone wants Luke to have his Jedis, but it didn't work.
I think part of the problem with a lot of that, too, for me, is that it feels like Han and Leia not being together is the easy route. That is easier to write, them not being together, than just kind of continuing the story. Like, and that's it never continued on from what we knew. It was like, there are all these puzzle pieces that you don't have, and we'll put them in books, and they never put them in books. And also, if you're watching the movies, you don't want them in books. You want them in movies. So I think that's part of it. Is like for me, that's really the easy route. The Rey being a nobody, nothing feels very easy to me, and it's like just like, and I'm saying that in this point of I don't need the surprises. Like the problem with Star Wars is it's all I am your father is the biggest twist. But we were all, I mean, we weren't born yet, but we were all watching Star Wars before that happened.
Yeah.
Like, that might have propelled us forward, but there are no twists in A New Hope.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're watching it like you know, it's like Obi-Wan and Vader have a history, and it comes to a head at the end.
Yeah.
That's just basic storytelling. There's nothing there. But now it's like, there has to be a twist. What's the twist?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then Last Jedi is like, that's a twist, and that's a twist, and that's a twist, and that's and you're like, but... Relax.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams, just tell me who the hell Rey is. You don't we knew who Luke was. There was no secret about who Luke was.
Yeah.
Like, because the twist that we got had no bearing on the story when we first meet Luke. Whereas Rey, right away, we're like, well, who is she? Because we've had
she can't just be some junk rat from Jakku.
Yeah, because we've had 40 years of stories, and it's the stories are all about this group that we're following. It's not now the new Rian Johnson trilogy, the Game of Thrones guys trilogy, the Jon Favreau show could be about whatever because it's that. But in this, that's how that is.
Yeah,
that's how it is. Should we Skype Andrew Fantasia?
Yes.
Ugh. Let's see what garbage he has behind him today. You know, it'd be awesome if he has like just like a nice like Zelda, like a Link sword behind him, and like a lot of gold, just like gold, piles of gold coins. Yeah, like rupees. And he's just sitting there like legs crossed.
Hello, scumbags. And he does his stupid Palpatine voice.
Hello, nobodies. Before we start, do you think oh God, that Batman is just staring at me. The blue and gray one.
Yeah.
He's so angry. What is he angry at?
He's old. That's Dark Knight Returns.
I think they need to go back to Blue Batman. Anyway, that's my rant. Do you think he'll be able to get 100 out of 100 of these?
I think so. And you said he's prepared? Or you said you told him?
Well, we're going to flip it on him, but...
Yeah.
I told him...
Oh, we are going to flip it on.
Well, we'll stick with we'll pretend that we're flipping it, so he'll think that we're being serious. For me, I told him just a little while ago, I said we'll do 100 characters in 100 seconds. Just so he has some time to, think about characters. But he has immersed himself in the Clone Wars show, which I think itself can give you 100 characters.
Yeah.
We might have to go to Andropedia to find out if some of them are real, though I can't trust it because he did write it, so that would mean that he probably made some up.
Yeah, like if you can remember like all the Clone Trooper names, that's at least 20 characters. If you can remember like all the Ewok names, like... That's a fair amount.
Should we count Ewok names? Because they're never set. We should tell them it's only names of characters that are set on screen. There's 20. That'll be... Okay, should we go to him?
Yeah, let's
do we have Andrew?
Hello, Andrew.
Hold on.
Hello.
I'm talking to our producer. Producer, do we have Andrew?
Producer, do we have Andrew? You work in television.
I smacked it. We don't have it. All right. Andrew, we put on headsets very quickly because we did not cut. There is no cutting in this at all. This is all live.
This is not edited.
Andrew Fantasia from the Andrew Fantasia YouTube channel is joining us now. Andrew, how are you doing on this fine 100th episode of the Rebel Scum Podcast?
I am doing amazing because it is the 100th episode of the Rebel Scum Podcast, and a very hearty congratulations to both of y'all for coming this far, because 100 is a sexy number.
Well, we'll have you back on for the 103rd because Brock pointed out that you joined us on our third podcast. So this is only 97 for you.
Yeah.
And you still...
That's the real milestone. That is the real milestone here.
We teased that you might become canon today, but we can
Spoilers.
confirm that you are not.
You're not.
You are absolutely not. So you are here now because on our episode 66, Order 66, you were challenged to name 60 planets in 60 seconds. Today, Brock and I want to challenge you to 100 vehicles in 100 seconds. Just kidding.
100 vehicles.
Maybe one day. We're going to do 100 characters in 100 seconds. Do you think you can muster up enough characters to come up with that in that amount of time?
I think I can do it.
Do you think you could do it?
I think so.
I think I can get closer than I did with the planets.
In planets, I should have checked this, but I think you got 30-something or 40.
Yeah, you didn't make it, but you got close.
Okay, I know you go in the high end of that, Andrew, so let's not don't get all high and mighty here. Characters, I think, is a little bit easier, but it is, almost double what you had to do for planets. But it is easier.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of... So the other rule we have for you is all of the characters, their names have to be mentioned on camera.
Okay, that's fair.
You're okay with that? Wow.
I'm just joking, but you didn't balk at that. Wow. You didn't bosk at that.
So then what do you want to do? Do you want to just say any character, or do you want to keep that rule of it has to be said on camera?
I think it should be any character. Here's why.
Why?
He'll say one, and we'll be like, was that in a movie or something? Or TV
Yeah,
show?
that's
And
the
then
problem.
Yeah,
we won't be able to figure it out.
I can, like, I'll just rattle off, and then after we can, like, dissect it if we want to parse them out. But I feel like in the heat of the moment, I probably will just...
Well, heat
I'll
of the
probably say
moment.
Pac-Man at one point.
Yeah.
Well, we'll let you guys down below just
Yes.
rip Andrew to shreds. All
Back
right.
me up, scumbags. Back me up.
All right. Do you want me to hit start?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Here
ready.
we go. Andrew, 100 characters in 100 seconds in 3, 2, 1.
Luke, Leia, R2, 3PO, Uncle Owen, Emperor, Ben Kenobi, Darth Vader, Grand Moff Tarkin, TK421, Bosk, Boba Fett. Ooh, here we go. General Riken, Lando Calrissian, Porkins, Wedge, Biggs. This is hard.
That's not. Nope. That is a wrong name.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh, yeah, that's the wrong name.
115
Akbar.
seconds.
Akbar, Mon Mothma, Qui-Gon Jinn, Padme, Dorme, Panaka, Sio Bibble. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to go back to the originals here. Mahdi, Wolf, Yularen.
100. 1 minute.
Mahdi, Captain Nita, Admiral Ozzel, Admiral Piet. This is hard. General Dodonna. Red Leader, Gold Leader, standing by. Jin Urso, Cassian Andor, K2SO, Baze Malbus, Cheered Imwe. Oh, God, what's his name? Orson Krennic, Odie Rook, Saw Gerrera, Bo Gullet. Bo Gullet again, because he's amazing. Jar Jar Binks, Darth Maul, Palpatine, BB-8, Rey, Finn, Poe, Phasma,
30.
Snoke. Kylo Ren, Holdo, Phasma. I already said Phasma. Ooh, this is tricky. I said Holdo. Rose.
15.
Rose's sister Paige. Cato Conics.
10.
PZ4CO. Oh, God.
5.
Count 2.
4.
General Grievous. Jango
3.
Fett.
2.
Archduke Pago the Lesser.
That's it.
Mace Windu. Yoda.
We'll give him
Damn.
Windu. Give him Windu.
Did you even
I can't
say
believe I
Boba
forgot
Fett?
Yeah.
What the hell just happened? All right, so Brock was counting there. Brock, why don't
1,
you tally it
2,
up?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Can I
8, 9,
guess?
10, 11, 12, 13.
13.
No.
I'm joking.
He's-
I know what you're-
Can I guess what I got before he says it?
Yes, of
Yep.
course.
Go ahead.
I'm going to guess that it was 47.
Not even close. 31.
No.
That's it?
68.
68. You know,
Not bad.
No, it's not bad.
Did you say Boba Fett? Did you say anything from
I
like
did.
Jabba the Hutt? I can't even remember. Like you were going so fast.
I tried to jump from movie to movie, and then halfway through, I remembered that I could say characters who weren't named on camera, and I'm like, oh shit! So that's why I went back and started naming like Imperial officers left, right, and center.
Yeah.
But once I jumped to Empire, I think Boba Fett and Bosk were the first two I said, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember. You were going so fast. I might like that number might not actually be accurate because it was like.
So maybe for this episode, it's 68.
Yeah.
We'll recount it when this airs.
Yeah.
You guys can yell at us at home. And next week, we will come with the official number.
Yeah, and you will continue to win nothing.
Yeah. Much like you do at the trivia contests. Andrew, thanks so much. Thanks for setting your top 5. Everybody was really anxious to hear what you had to say just so they can get angry with you because your top 5 was wrong.
You blew it.
You blew it, kid. How many times have you seen Solo in the theater?
Twice.
Hang
How many times have you seen Solo in the theater?
4 times.
Twice for me.
Well, 3.5. I kept falling asleep on the 4th one.
But I don't go to the theater often.
I don't go to theaters. I
go to the cinema and I watch it there. That's my British impression.
Hey,
Because I was
Oh my
watching
goodness.
England win yesterday. What?
To the cinema.
To the cinema.
They probably don't even say that. We'll get it. Don't they say theater? No, what do they say? Cineplex? What do you guys say?
Movieplex.
I
don't know.
I have relatives there. Don't we all?
We have fans there.
Actually, I don't know if
There was like one person that kept showing us some like Star Wars thing in not in London but in England somewhere, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." We can't go.
J.J. Abrams is there.
To Jar Abrams.
J.J. Abrams. All right, Andrew, thank you so much for being a part of this. We'll come back to you next week with the official count, but for now it is 68 out of 100. Brock is going to do this right after the news. I'm just joking. I'd probably get 4.
I call that a good start.
All right. Thanks, Andrew. Let's move things over to the Hollow News.
Hollow News. Now, Hollow News. What's today in the Hollow News? Lando Calrissian has canceled. Well, not Lando. Billy D. Williams has canceled his appearance at the I'm a Canadian. Saskatchewan Entertainment Expo due to filming responsibilities or film schedule conflict. So a lot of people are like, oh, this is him getting ready for episode 9, which is very possible, though apparently Billy D. Williams has a lot of films on the go coming up. But if you look at it, J.J. Abrams is going to commence principal photography later this month, being July. So it kind of makes sense, and it kind of says to us that maybe Lando has a bigger role because if it's a cameo, I don't think he could really have to skip a 2-day appearance in Saskatchewan. But who knows? I mean, it has been pretty well verified he's going to be in that movie, I believe. So, yay, he's going to be in it. But the most important part is I don't believe he's canceled his appearance at Fan Expo in Toronto a mere 3 weeks prior to that. So, hooray for Torontonians. So, all our friends in Saskatchewan, why don't you come on down to Toronto if you want to meet Lando? In our next story, Battlefront, we've reported it before. There's a lot of updates coming. But the first patch is out now. And it launches the new hero starfighter mode that allows you to play as the heroes against each other. I think 2 to 4 players. So you get to play as the heroes, and then once you run out of heroes, you become just regular soldiers, I believe. Sounds like fun. But for there's a huge list of patches and tweaks on the game, but the key ones that stand out are there's a Celestian appearance has been added to the Resistance and Rebel versions of the Assault class. Players can swap their appearances pre-round. Daily quest system now gives 3 quests per day instead of 1, and the daily quest reward per quest has been reduced from 1,000 to 500. On strike, objective delivery zones are now visually represented in the world. And finally, Hero Showdown, there's a new HUD elements that show the health of team members. So that's always fun. So for all you Battlefront fans, that is your new patches. Of course, there's tons more stuff. I believe they've tweaked like the Ewok game and what have you. But I don't play, so I haven't really been paying much attention. But that's cool. It's great to see that they are trying to make the game as best as they can. Our next story, the Chinese have created a laser gun that actually works to an extent, I guess. It depends. How do you gauge working laser gun? But it's called the ZKZM 500 laser assault rifle. Classified as a non-lethal weapon, can strike a target from half a mile away, causing instant carbonization of human skin and tissue. That's crazy. It produces a silent, invisible energy beam that cannot be seen with the naked eye, but can pass through windows and able to burn through clothes in a split second and set a person on fire. So I don't know how that's not non-lethal, but it obviously it's a big deal because like a working laser gun really harkens to Star Wars and sci-fi movies in general. It's a 15 millimeter caliber gun that weighs more than 6.5 pounds and can be mounted on cars, boats, or planes. And it's charged by a lithium battery. So that's interesting. If you want to see it in action, just go to YouTube and search for Star Wars laser bullet. It is pretty crazy how it works. It's kind of, they have to do it in I think it's like an infrared sort of video so you can actually see the laser going through things, but it's kind of a creepy video because it's a person moving. I think it's just a mannequin and it's just like stop motion. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. So we can finally have our Han Solo blasters so we can set people on fire. And in our last story, it was revealed through Todd Fisher, who, as most of you should know, is Carrie Fisher's younger brother or older brother. Her brother, who they are very close with. If you've read anything on Carrie Fisher, he inevitably comes up. He's written a book called My Girls, which I believe is strictly about his relationship with his sister and his mother. But there is a quote in it that reveals that what Carrie Fisher was feeling on the release, or when Star Wars first came out, and how she wasn't sure how it's going to go. She had no clue that it would be such a success. And he in the next excerpt, he says, "So we're sitting in the parking lot waiting to go in the screening. Now this is the first time anybody's seen anything. This is days before it comes out to the theaters. She's smoking, chain smoking, drinking, Coke in one hand, cigarette in the other. Coca-Cola, I should probably make sure I say. She doesn't want to go, and I'm like, we've got to go in. I'm sitting there watching the lights go down, you know. Literally, doors are closing. We've got to go now. So I finally get her to put her cigarette out. By this point, there's nowhere to sit except the front row. So we sit in the front row, and it starts. And we watch those titles go by. Then the battle cruiser flies over, and I look over. I had her hand. She was squeezing my hand. Panicked. I said, this is no B movie. So it's kind of cool. Like, this is not a new piece of information about just how the actors had no clue what this movie was going to be. They called it a B movie. But because the effects that, George Lucas inevitably uses weren't prominent at the time. So how do you it probably seemed like just a hacky, like almost sci-fi made for TV movie, because you're like, okay, so there's a ship, but you're just gonna sit in this made comic, but like you'll see the things happening. Like sure we will. But that's cool. So if you're a big Carrie Fisher fan, maybe you should pick up Todd Fisher's book, My Girls. It should be interesting. And this has been Hollow News.
Let's wrap this baby up. 100 times we have done this.
Amazing. Did we do a top 5 on the very first one?
We did.
Wow.
We did. We didn't do it today out of respect, but we didn't do it Never Tell Me the Odds, but we did. Or Hollow News.
Yeah.
You were like 2 weeks, 3 weeks into it. You're like, we should do news. And then top 5 was right from the get-go.
Top 5.
So we did our bottom feeders.
And now we're up to the top.
We heard
chops.
Andrew's god awful list. And now,
top 5.
Top 5 Star Wars characters of all time. I have my 5th character. Is probably my number 1 favorite character.
Yeah.
Because this is a character that anytime see on screen, but more importantly, hear this character on screen, all I think about is Star Wars. And that's R2 Daytoa. R2D2. What's the droid's number? R2D2.
R2.
Best introduction of any Star Wars character of all of them, I would say, from Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Like, and it doesn't pause. It just goes. Like, it's just the movie. Well, thank you, R2D2.
Yeah, it's like, what's the droid's number? R2D2. Like, he saves the day.
Yeah.
For the woman who would become the mother of the person who would save R2 and thus save the galaxy until the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
It's kind of poetic.
Poe Dameron poetic? My number 5 already revealed. Kylo Ren, fun villain, but he's, like, I would argue he's almost more good and bad than Vader kind of was. I mean, development of Kylo has gone faster than Vader was in the movies. And I'm excited to see what happens, because it's sort of like he's a villain that could be, what's the word? Saved, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's made his decision of how his life's going to go. So I am very excited. And I'm a big Adam Driver fan, so more Adam Driver. Yay.
My number 4, Darth Maul. He showed up again. Kira's new boss. He's dead. In one timeline. Current timeline, he's dead. Past timeline. I hope we get more of him. Maybe on the shows or streaming service or whatever. But everyone knows I love him as Maul.
My number 4 is Chewbacca. He should be higher, but like, I'll respect the other characters.
He didn't make my list.
Wow. But you know, for a character that doesn't talk, even in the Han Solo movie, you got to admit, like, it's this is you feel like you learn more about Chewbacca, even though it's not really new.
I don't care what anyone says when Han speaks Wookiee. I love it. I think it's awesome. Don't care.
And that, like, do you think that means like we could get a lot more subtitled Chewbacca scenes? Mm-hmm. I think it worked. I don't know. No one's clamoring having an issue with it, so yeah.
Yeah, I thought it's a movie, so I was having a lot of fun with it. That's what I do. My number 3, Darth Vader. I love me some Vader. Maybe Vader someday later, but now just a small fry. That is a Weird Al Yankovic line from his song, The New Hope. No, what the hell is that song called? The Phantom Menace. American Vader. Is it American?
American Vader.
I don't know what it's called. It's been so long. So long. What's your number? Look, Vader is the best movie villain of all time.
Yeah. My number 3 is Han Solo, because he's just an archetype for so many other characters. He's like, and he's not the first character to be like this, but like, without Han Solo, you don't get like a Peter Quill. You don't get a Valerian.
You don't get a lot.
Yeah, like just that rogue with the heart of gold that, like, yeah, he doesn't show up every time, but he shows up when it matters. So yeah,
he's a pirate.
He's a pirate.
What's your number 2?
Number 2. See, my problem was I probably shouldn't have put Bossk on this because I need an extra space or something. But I'm gonna go.
A tie. Give me a tie.
It's a tie then between Poe Dameron and Obi-Wan Kenobi, because it's like, I love Poe Dameron. Really, no. Poe Dameron should have been 3, and Han Solo and Obi-Wan should be tied.
I'm curious your number 1 now.
Oh, I know. But Obi-Wan, like, it's true, like, he's like the character that, like, benefited from the prequels.
Oh, yes. That's when everyone wants an Obi-Wan film. I would totally be down for it.
Yeah.
But we've got 6 in a TV show.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 3 and then like 0.5 in a TV show. And I know a lot about Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And I really just want to think that he sat on Tatooine with the fire. Kind of like we saw him in Rebels. I thought that was perfect before Brawl showed up. I'm like, I am fine with. I would watch an Obi-Wan movie. Don't get me wrong, but I am fine with not knowing what happened to him between all that.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be terrible because then you'd get your full Obi-Wan story. You would have. Oh no, I guess you don't really know much about what he was like before Phantom Menace. Yeah. Maybe that's a way to give you flesh it out. Just give you more Obi-Wan, but. The idea of a hermit Jedi that someone has to go find, because it's like inevitably you feel like he has to get dragged out of there. I mean, we did it with Yoda, and we've done it with Luke on Ahch-To. Like, we've kind of done that. But I will say, like, what have they done in the comics with Obi-Wan's journals? I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, I wish this was a movie.
You must come with me to Alderaan.
If we're going to save something.
My number 2, Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. So that, I guess that, couldn't you put that together with Vader?
No. Once he turns to the dark side, he is Vader. Before that, he is Anakin. I'm talking Phantom Menace Anakin. I'm talking Attack of the Clones Anakin, and the first half of Revenge of the Sith Anakin. I really like Anakin. You got me a pod racing pop for my birthday. Huge. I mean, Anakin. I really like Anakin. I think
and of course, everybody's favorite meme, Bananakin.
Bananakin is the. That's actually
I'm a person, and my name is Bananakin. Oh my god,
that's the stupidest thing ever. I think Anakin's a great character. You can argue his dialogue and acting all you want, but I really, really like Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, it's you know what, it gives that the Darth Vader character more depth, because you're like, he tried and it just didn't work out.
And he wanted to save his loving wife, who's
his mother,
to his children.
Yeah.
Number 1, Han Solo.
It's your number 1?
Number 1 is Han Solo.
Okay.
Number 1 is Han Solo. Because you're number 1, Leia?
No. You want to hear it?
Yes.
My number 1 is BB-8. Because, I don't know. Like, he beats out R2. Barely. Maybe R2 should have been on this because he's a better character. I don't know. 3PO is fun. BB-8 is, like, I put him here because of what they've done in Expanded Universe, like the books where you can hear, like our Last Jedi novelization, where you can actually hear what he's saying, and they've done it just recently in the comics where it's they're retelling. I think it's the attack on Murder Planet. You hear two voices talking about it because in the Poe Dameron comic, they're sort of retelling Force Awakens to fill in the gaps, and because the comic's coming to an end. But you don't understand who's talking because it's always referring to Poe and to Finn and to Rey. That's never it's never Poe talking. And it turns out, get this, it's BB-8 and R2-D2 talking to each other about what. So like he's like, this happened. Poe did this and then this and this. It's like R2 is like, yeah, that's like the Death Star. You know, I was there. And you're like, who is talking? And it's two droids talking. I love that idea of these droids. I think they're expanding more on what droids can do with, like, you know, K2SO and L3. I don't know. I just find I will follow BB-8 into any movie, put him in everything.
That is our top 5, our 100th top 5.
Wow.
Ever. Some weeks have been harder than others to come up with a top 5. This week was obviously very easy. But it was fun.
And like we've done this list before, no?
No. Some
variation of it.
I don't think. Oh, we done like Jedi and Sith.
Yeah.
It was separated. I had no sequel characters on my list. And I think I only had 2 prequel characters, 3, and Wicket. I can't believe you didn't have Wicket on your list.
Yeah, but
he's the only good character in Star Wars.
Ed Bosk. He doesn't have lines.
He doesn't even have a role.
He gets mentioned in Han Solo.
Yeah, that's right. That was you actually left the theater.
Perfect.
You got up and you walked away, and everyone said, "Where's Brock going?" I'm like, that was his moment.
The sisters from
it was
Mos Eisley Cantina.
Brock, no movie can ever match this now. Brock you actually went on and you bought the super ticket. So you got a super expensive digital download right away.
The opposite of anything I would do. Yeah. Sorry, Cineplex.
Then you went to Blockbuster and you were like, edit this for me, but just keep the boss part in it.
I cut my DeLorean and rocketed back to 98.
I don't want to harp on those super tickets, but seriously. Hey, you know that movie you just paid a lot of money for?
Pay us more money.
Triple it and pay more, and we'll give you a terrible digital copy.
Yeah, it's... You know what? It's every time I read it and I'm like 500 seat points. I'm like,
if it was a free ticket,
but
you're paying for the ticket anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, you guys don't know what we're talking about because most of you are from America.
America.
Happy Day of Independence. I hope the fireworks are spectacular. I hope your barbecues don't do anything too crazy.
Yeah.
I hope your hot dogs are hot and your hamburgers are burglary.
I get it. You're funny. And I hope you don't have a grimace.
100 episodes of the Rebel Scum Podcast. Anything you want to say to wrap up this little puppy dog?
Thank you for listening. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your disses. Thank you for your kisses. That rhymes. Thank you for listening, and let us know where we can change and what you think is great. Let us know your top 10. Top 5, because only we can do top 10.
We don't even let Andrew do top 10.
Yeah, and he's the worst.
I know his list.
You're the best. We're still not gonna like it.
His list was terrible.
It was the blurst. But thank you for listening. Thank you, James, for always putting things like this together and making time to come over here and being my best friend that likes Star Wars. Oh, there was a caveat on that because Daryl Lewis is my best friend. You know, that guy you guys don't know. But anyway, thank you to everyone, and thank you for liking us.
Yeah, guys, thanks a lot. This continued support actually means a great deal to us. That's why we keep coming back here every week. That's why I wake up early and drive here in traffic to do it. Today was disastrous out there.
It's summertime.
I was like, I know they should all be outside playing. Time. Oh, construction season. It's always construction season. Welcome to Mississauga. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. It really does mean a lot to us. From me and from Brock, who is always scum.
Rebel Scum.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.